Well, hello, friends. How's it going? I'm DJ Glowing Ice, and today in this video, I'm going to show you how I make my version of chocolate chip cookies. It's kind of a hybrid between using the pre-made mix and doing some little extra stuff at home that you may have not have thought of doing. These cookies have apparently been cherished and loved by every single person that has ever had them. They ask me how I make them. I'm going to show you how I make mine. And yeah, they are pretty good. I just made a batch here. Pretty good. Yeah, all right. Okay, well, let's just get to it. Here is how to make my chocolate chip cookies. All right, what you will need are some cookie sheets, a mixing bowl, a wooden spoon, 4 packages of chocolate chip cookie mix. It doesn't matter which brand, whatever works. A package of mini semi-sweet chocolate chips, parchment paper, and then 4 sticks of butter, salted, and then 4 eggs. Now it's time to wash your hands. Make sure you wash properly, use soap and hot water, and really get in deep and make sure everything is sanitized properly. Next, preheat your oven to 360 degrees. Alright, here comes the fun part where we start mixing everything. Put the chocolate chip mix into the mixing bowl and then crack an egg, and then we're just going to repeat the process 4 times. We're doing 4 bags of chocolate chip mix and 4 eggs and 4 butters because each bag of chocolate chip mix requires 1 egg and 1 butter. So we're doing a batch, so that's why there's 4 of each of everything. So just keep repeating this. There's no particular combination. You don't have to put an egg in after every mix. Sometimes you just put the egg mix in first and then whatever. But yeah, now it's time to put in the butter. But the butter needs to be soft, and it doesn't feel soft enough. So this is a little trick that I'm doing right here, which is put the butter into the microwave, and we'll only put it in for a very short time. 18 seconds seems to be the sweet spot, at least for 4 sticks of butter. Alright, now the butter seems to be pretty soft. That's basically what we want, that perfect meltage of butter. So now we're going to take our wooden spoon and just mix the butter in with the egg and chocolate cookie mix combination, and just keep stirring and stir and stir and stir until we get a nice thickness to the point where we're going to start mixing with our hands. Okay, so as you see, it's crumbly right here. This is when we're going to put in the mini semi-sweet chocolate chips, because there's never really enough chocolate chips within the chocolate chip cookie mix, so I always like to add some more chocolate. Some people don't like a lot of chocolate in their chocolate chip cookies, but I think the majority do, so I always throw in a little extra. So now it's time, after you add the chocolate chips, obviously you mix with your hands here. And now you have something like this. It's a bit sticky, but wash your hands and get right back to it. And now it's time to roll out your parchment paper and put it on the cookie sheets you have laid out. Now this is one of the big key tips. What size of chocolate chip cookie should you roll? Well, as I'm showing you here, they need to be the size of about a ping pong ball, or a little larger than a ping pong ball. Now it's time to put it in the oven. Another key tip is this. As much as you'd want to bake as many cookies as possible, I always just do one at a time, and always put the cookies at the very top rack inside the oven. Next thing you'll want to do is set the timer on the oven for 8 minutes. Alright, now it's time to start your assembly line. While those cookies are baking, start setting up the other sheet pan you have for another batch of cookies. While the cookies are baking, find an empty counter space and roll out a sheet of parchment paper. And also, get yourself a metal spatula. Now that the cookies are done, pull them out of the oven and place in the new batch of cookies on the top rack. And this is when you just keep continuing until all the cookie dough mix is done. Alright, quickly take the chocolate chip cookies and take them off of the pan and put them onto the countertop. This will make sure that the cookies do not cook any longer on the hot cookie sheet. And now you have yourself a batch of perfect chocolate chip cookies. When you take them out of the oven, they may be a little gooey and soft in the center, but once you lay them on the parchment paper and let them cool down, they will be super chewy and be that way for plenty of days. In order to do that, you have to make sure to store them properly. So put them in a pan or some kind of Tupperware container and make sure they are sealed properly with an airtight lid. That is it. And look at that. Perfect. All right, well, now that we're done, we are packing all the cookies up and sending them off to our lovely fans. And yeah, definitely have a glass of milk candy. That's what I would recommend with these. It just seems like no matter how many batches I make, there's just never enough. But you just got to keep working, and you know, that's what, yeah. When I started making cookies, a massive failure. It was god awful. I just thought I wasn't, good enough for it. But one thing is for sure, parchment paper is your friend, and knowing the timing and knowing which shelf to put the cookies on your oven for it to bake properly. All of those are highly, highly serious things to make sure these cookies come out right. And just through trial and error, I found out how to make some pretty decent chocolate chip cookies. I don't have some cookbook that's, passed down generations. Oh, my grandma has this great recipe. You gotta put an extra dash of salt. Nothing. I started out with nothing, just buying some pre-made mix and just figuring out, hey, yeah, it's good. It's better than a lot of people's that, live and die by some homemade, made from scratch recipes. So there's no shame in buying pre-made mix. So just, don't let people judge you for that, all right? All right. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm DJ Glowing Ice. I'll see you next time.